All right, hello everyone. First thing I'd like to say, my name is George McClellan. I'm with the East St. Louis branch. I'm the vice president of the branch, and I'm also the medical action chair. So what we're going to talk about for me would be, the messaging and also with collaboration, something that we do a lot downstate. First thing I like to say is that when we went down to the summit, it was incredible. It was the fact that you were there with a group of people who had the same fight, just different areas. Then you look around and you say, "Thank God I live in Illinois," because everything around you is entirely red, and some of the things that they do are head scratching. Confusing, and you start looking at people like, I don't want to see another person with the red hat on ever. Yeah, it's like that. Some of the things they're doing in North Carolina and Texas and some of those other states. But let's go ahead and get to it. Collaboration and messaging. Basic elements. We talked about certain things that we talked about today as far as all the issues. Mine is red. We're going to talk about messaging. All right, so messaging is what is our story and slogan, or what are talking points. Talking points, and go back. Okay, so with that, it's stories and slogans. Just talking about themes. Themes are broad, underlying subjects and concepts. Usually 1 word, 2 words, 3 words that are connected together that actually have some kind of meaning. However, the messaging may be a little bit more broad in that area. However, your theme and your messaging have to go together in order to get people in order to go along with that. One thing we talked about is as far as slogans. Before we go to the next slogan, next thing, best way in order to do that is in order to go to the corporate side. All right. Now we're going to ask. Tell me what company this is based on this slogan. Okay. Dr. Flowers just said it a minute ago. Just do it. Who is that?
Nike.
All right. Have it your way. Who is that?
Burger King.
All right. Now, who is the ultimate driving machine?
You.
Who is the ultimate driving machine?
BMW.
BMW is the ultimate driving machine. All right. Next, what's finger looking good? All right. All right. Now, to make sure that you actually have your theme, go with your messaging. Go on. Every good message is rooted in research. Message along with data or public education tools, the most effective way to inform or mobilize to create a campaign. Go to the next one, please. All right. Data-driven facts, just like Dr. Flowers said a minute ago. Match frame. What story is your data telling you? Now, a lot of things say, okay, well, we want to run on this. And in the 2024 election, it was, because they're emotion driven. And those things actually, they hit my house, and overall, we need to have this as our thing. The data doesn't always tell us that. And we're going to illustrate that in just a minute. Now, if we go to the data, go to the next one, please. All right. What is a big key message? We talked about that. Effective, concise, talking points, 1 to 2 sentences, compelling, relevant, and also focus on values. Now, if we go back to what we talked about as far as opinions. For the Democratic side, what were some of the main issues that they talked about as far as should be on the post? Okay. One of the women's were healthcare, women's healthcare. All right. The right in order to protect your body. Okay.
Right to choice.
Right to choice. Okay. Abortion. What's another one?
Middle class.
Huh? Yeah, LGBTQ issues. Okay? We found those things very, very important as far as on our side. However, the data did not tell us that. The data told us that the number one issue was inflation, even though it was number one in the world. Okay? Even though it was number one in the world, inflation was number one. I mean, the economy was number one, I'm sorry. Inflation, even though it was down by the standards of the rest of the world, it was still on there because we didn't push the narrative for that. The other side did, saying how bad it was, but it was not, because the data did not follow that. And the state of the democracy, okay? And who was actually, and the last thing was a huge issue, was who was coming in. We were fighting on this, who was coming in, who were the immigrants, immigration issues, the fact that, okay, that we had a border that's open, everybody's coming in, even though our presidents, the Democratic presidents were, Obama was named at that time, what, the border in chief. During the Biden administration, he deported more than 3 times what Trump did during his administration. But even though they still made that an issue. Go on, please. Okay. Can anybody name, without looking at that, 5 different issues that the Biden administration had? That they did, that they accomplished?
Inflation reduction.
Okay.
Student loan forgiveness.
You have 5. You probably have 7. Okay. What's not on there? CHIPS Act. That's not on there. You also have, you can open it up some. The infrastructure bill. Those issues were huge that they did. Then you talked about 32% reduction in household hunger. Highest ever number of Americans with health care coverage. Reduced health care premiums. The Insulin Act, when they reduced the cost of insulin. All of those things.
Thank you.
All of those things. However, let's look on the other side. Next slide, please. What were their issues?
He said he was old.
That were wrong with the Democrats. This is what every news outlet has said. That what is wrong with the Democratic messaging? Because it was not centered. We have no coherent message. No coherent message at all. And many critics argue that the Democrats failed to unify behind a clear, straightforward message that resonated with voters' core concerns. Unlike Donald Trump, who offered a simple, mostly driven narrative, Democrats were seen as offering complex, nuances, explanations that lacked punch and clarity, because we had everything that we did. Next page, please. Okay, the things that were read, we just talked about that the Trump administration talked about. Economy, immigration, social and cultural issues, which is DEI, okay, and government accountability. Those are the 4 things that they concentrated on, and they hit on, because if I'm sitting at the kitchen table and I have a high school diploma, and the only thing I'm worried about is where my next meal is or where my job is going to be, you can't tell me about the CHIPS Act. You cannot tell me about what $1.3 billion trillion that's on the infrastructure bill, because it ain't hit my kitchen table.
Right.
But I can tell you that who's taking my jobs, or the narrative that I want to have, or the fact that, okay, somebody's still in an election and it ain't me, even though it may be me, and it probably is me. Or the fact is political prosecution, they're attacking me. They want to put me in jail even though I got 34 felonies. Even though I have millions of dollars that I pay to people because I raped, or I cheated them, or I got 6 bankruptcies. Your messaging matters. Go to the next one, please. Messaging. Here are some questions you might ask myself when evaluating key messages. Sorry. Do I understand even generally what this person is saying? The part in red, keep it simple, stupid. The most simple, easily rememberable messages matter more than anything else. Does the slogan message make me want to learn more? Is it clear? Is it concise? Does the message convey the values, priorities of the candidates? Those are easy. I can follow that. Just do it. I can do that. Finger licking good. I can do that. Okay. Build it my way. I can do that. Okay. All of these things. Ultimate what? Open driving machine. I want one of them. I want one of them. Keep it simple. Next, please. Now, messaging speaks the language because we have to get them engaged. How do we do that? I can't talk to them the same way I'm talking to this group. They're going to be on their phones. They're going to tune me out as soon as I stand up. But we have to have a message that conveys to them. Can you please play this video, please? All right, so what
electoral votes, more than 270, more than enough to become the 44th President of the United States. He will be the first African-American President of the United States.
I've been broke all my life, but I kept hope all them nights. You see business in my city? Yeah, they closed all them twice. I was just riding down Salem, all them damn potholes I can't drive. I know y'all can fix it faster, but I know y'all won't try. Don't nobody care about us, and that's why I don't vote. Voted for Obama back in 2012, I remember that's when I had hope. He was saying, yes, we can, and everybody got less food stamps. And when I turned 21, I was still broke, I'd never vote again. I don't think I ever had a president make my life better. Did it all on my own, ain't no politician ever do a nice gesture. I don't even know the mayor's name, I ain't never seen her one time ever. Tell me how she gonna help the city. What I'm supposed to do, write letters? What I'm supposed to do, blame Trump? He ain't never really gave a ain't nobody raised minimum wage. None of these jobs pay enough. I think they just wanna keep us broke, cause they ain't putting none in place for us. This how all my people feel, but we gotta learn. We complained enough, let me change it up. Everything I just said, everybody I know think the same way. See, they don't wanna see us vote, and we never do, so we see the same thing. But all our votes really do count, and they'll never really let it show. So now I'm finna break it down, cause if I don't, you would probably never know. First thing first, you know back in middle school when they taught us, it was 3 branches of the government. We forgot it when we got older. It's the judicial, the legislative, and executive. But all we know is the executive. That's the mayor, or the governor, and the president. Now none of them 3 people make no laws, they just be checking them. The laws come to their desk and all they do is say no or yes to it. So when the news station tried to tell us that Barack Obama couldn't put us on, we was all salty at Obama when it was the Congress members all along. We gotta focus on the legislative branch, yeah, they the ones that make the laws. Yeah, they the ones write how much food stamp money you get on the card. But when people that wanted to help us wanted the job, I know they probably lost. Cause we ain't even know their name, we ain't know their face, we ain't know it all. So the Congress or the State House, that's legislative, they make laws. So what we want from the president is what they do, okay y'all? See, they election every 2 years, but we don't ever even go to those. The Congress, they can raise minimum wage, but we ain't even really know it though. So you know how back in 08, when we all voted for Obama, we was all supposed to go back in 2010 and vote for the Congress. Cause they the ones make child support laws, they the ones choose if your kids at school get to eat steak or corn dogs. The State House make the court costs. So if the country failed, then you can't say it's them, it's your fault. Cause y'all ain't know to vote for Congress members that was for y'all. And they don't gotta leave after 4 years, and we just let them sit. See, they don't wanna tell you this, they want you to focus on the president. Now the 3rd branch is the judicial, that's judges. They the reason why John Crawford and Trayvon ain't had justice. So when Meek Mill got locked up just for popping willies, we blame the judge and not the city when they let her get voted in, cause they ain't know who to vote against. Imagine life on the other side. Roads better, schools better, everybody get their license back. Grocery store food better, custody of your kids back. Homeless people get new shelters. If we gon' fix the U.S., we gotta start with them 2 letters, me and you. Somebody told us that the government wanna keep us broke, but the only reason why those people in the government is cause we ain't vote. And I ain't talking about the president, I'm talking about the ones we ain't know. See, they was gonna try to keep it low, but it's gonna hurt them when they see the polls.
Every time you stay home, someone is making a decision about you, making decisions about the air you breathe, the water you drink, the food your kids eat, and how much money you bring home every 2 weeks. So every time you sit out an election, every time you don't show up because you think it doesn't matter, someone else is happy that you didn't show up, so they can make that decision for you. Vote.
All right. So yes, it's on YouTube. That video right there engaged the whole conversation to where we started there at 9 o'clock in the morning and we didn't end there at 12 because the fact is that through every classroom that came through, they wanted to talk afterwards. How does it affect me? Do I want to make some change? What do I need in order to change my community? I have to be able to vote. Okay, I asked them after that, okay, who is your state legislator? Who is your state senator? None of them knew, not a single one. And so that's exactly what he talked about. The people who make the laws, people who allocate the money, they never knew. they thought everything was based on the governor or the president, which is a lie.
That's right.
Because right after 2010, everything changed. That's the reason why you start having a gerrymandering so hard. That's the reason why you had the Congress change so bad after 2010, because they did not want Barack in there in order to do anything.
Yep, yep.
Okay, next we're going to go to talk about leadership, talk about the thing. Go, keep on. Go. Okay, coalition bill. Okay, I can put these down because we do this all the time. And in East St. Louis, we have we found out it was in 2020, 2019, to where we were trying to make a change as far as who we want to be in the leadership and how can we affect the vote. We found that just like we were going to high schools in order to have voter registration jobs, it came to where NAACP was one day, Omega Psi Phi was the next day. The next week was Delta Sigma Theta. Why are we still doing the same thing? Why are we repeating the work? So what we ended up doing was we ended up getting on a Zoom call of all the political action leaders from the different organizations. We started off with, I think it was 10. It was the B9, and then it was what is it? It was Sustainable Solutions. Yeah. So it was them. Okay. Then we added UCM. Then we added the League of Women's Voters. Then we added Jack and Jill, and 4 or 5 other different organizations.
Right.
To where if we want to do something, we get on the Zoom call and we actually talk about the collaborative events that we have. So where we have candidates events, and we have forums, and we have voter registration drives, and we have all of these things together because it makes sense. Everybody in here is busy. Every leader in here is busy. Replicating the work kills everybody's enthusiasm. Okay? And if you want to make it your own, if Omega Psi Phi, because I can talk about the bros, if we want to make it our own, bring your banner and say, hey bros, we did all of this, we registered 400 voters. Even though it was other organizations who were there too. I don't care. It's about the people. It's not about you taking your pictures. Okay? Us being collaborative, us rotating leadership. Find similar organizations that are like you. Share the spotlight and responsibility. One thing that we do, we have candidates forums. I know my president is right here inside the room. Okay? Every meeting, I do what? Almost all of the planning. Am I correct? When it comes to pictures, where am I at?
Take it back.
In the back. Because it ain't about me. It ain't about me. It's about what we've done. No big eyes, no small U's. Everybody has an opinion. Everybody has an opinion. Everybody takes an ownership in it. No official name. One thing you cannot do, you cannot say pack as far as, even though you are a pack of people, because that is an official name.
That's right, that's right.
So what we have to start doing is call it Political Action Network, Friends of Voting, whatever it was we need to do. The point is that because PAC is a registered name,
Yes, it is.
so we had to change that. Rotate leadership. Right now it's been stuck on me. However, leadership and making sure that everybody gets involved. Every shirt is there. Make sure that when we have a town hall, when we have a forum, when we have a voter registration drive, wear your shirts. I don't care if it's the Dog Catchers of America. I don't care if it's whatever organization is there that you're a part of. Wear your shirts because we want everybody to know how to be a member of it. Next one. Be intentional. Build relationships first. Understand your partner's why. Now, of course, you're going to have some people who want to make sure that they, okay, well, I want to do this because, okay, I want to move up to a certain political position. Or guess what? Or my company actually does this. Okay, well, for real, I'll holler at you later. You have to find out the why first before you bring them into the group. Okay? Operate beyond election cycles. Do other things together, not just elections. Plan for long-term relationships. Think decades, not days. Make youth true partners. This is an example. We did the school board in St. Louis. We partnered with an organization called, God, what is it? Shantae's.
The youth group?
Yes, what is it? It was East Side Line. Okay, it was East Side Line. So we partnered with a group called East Side Line, who had actually had some young people. Okay. However, we were there to make sure it went off without a hitch. But we let the young people ask the questions. Let the young people be the moderators. You let the young people be in front. Young people be in front, and we would make sure that they were there when we did the planning, which is a huge event, because how can we ask them in order to do stuff when we don't let them do stuff? Reward the work, not the suggestions. This is not bringing suggestions and others do the work. Oh, you know what? I got an idea for you to do. For real. Bring your butt. Come on. I need you. Okay, for real, you going to lead that organization? You going to lead that effort in order to do that? Then if not, okay, you can hold your dice. Hold your opinions. They like a whole lot of, okay, other stuff. Okay, but I'm here in the public space and I'll take off my brush shirt. All right? Set measurable outcomes with data, because if I can show how many people are registered, if I can show how many people are within the room, if I can show all of these things, that's data I can do. Next. National organizations, of course, NAACP, ACU, League of Women Voters, D9, local organizations, state D9 organizations, veterans, faith-based institutions. One faith-based institution that we partner a lot with is UCM. They came to us talking, because the fact is, what they knew is that we had a lot of legs and they had a lot of money. We can go ahead and work with that. We can work with that. We can work with that. Okay. Okay. We're gonna have something at the church. Okay. Well, guess what? The church needs a donation. Drop that money, player. Love you. And you can put your name. You got to be right up there with us, because it ain't about that. Next is language access and immigrant rights advocates. I haven't partnered with any of those, or LGBTQIA+ organizations. Those two. They have a big following, and they just need some people in order to partner with, because it's about changing certain things. I don't have anything else. Now, one thing I want to piggyback on is what Ms. George said, is that back to basics. The number one thing that affects elections, does anybody know? Y'all be quiet with the black shirts. Okay. Does anybody know what the number one thing affecting elections is? And she said it 4 or 5 times. It's like we get back in the 60s, 50s. That is the number one thing. And for young people, it's the messaging of this. So reels, Facebook posts, hashtags, they cross different platforms. Those things matter. I have nothing else.